What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Solasta Crown of the Magister, which purports itself to be based on the 5.1 rule set of D&D. It actually surprises me that there haven't been more games officially made, or at least based on the 5.1 rule set of D&D, or the 5.0 rule set of D&D. I think it's a very, very good rule set, and in fact, I think it's fertile ground for a lot of games, but it just hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. We've had like a little bit of it with Baldur's Gate 3 and Solasta now, but that's pretty much like the first of it. Speaking of which, big balls on this game for going in and releasing like around the same time as Baldur's Gate 3. I respect that. I respect that, dude. It takes some serious oomph to put them on the glass right around the same time that Larry had put out Baldur's Gate 3. So you know what? I figured we'd give it a run today. We'll spend about 30 minutes with the game, see if it's something we wanted to add to our collection or otherwise pass on. I will, of course, be giving you my thoughts on the way through, but that's all I got for right now. Let's dive on in. New adventure. We can start a new adventure known as the Campaign in the World of Solasta. Sounds good. Now, we have an adventure over here, the Crown of the Magister. All right. Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready. I believe. Let's play this thing. All right, so for the interest of like the way that we want to do this, I will make one new character, and then I think I'm going to have the rest of them just be pre-gens, all right? So we'll go through the character creation for one character, and then from there we'll decide what we want to do. So what are we going to do for right now? It looks like we got a couple of different classes we can play around with. We got hill dwarves over here. It looks like we also have variations maybe. Oh yeah, snow dwarf. All right, that's pretty rad. So you can get dex instead of con, just in case you want to be a little bit more agile. We got half elves over here. They get that fatty boost to charisma right there. That's really, really nice. We've got humans that get a +1 to everything. That's not too bad. We've got elves, obviously, like they're going to get themselves some extra dex and some extra int, or you can swap it out for wisdom right here if you're looking to make somebody who's a little bit more spry or a little bit better with like kind of like clerical magic or whatever. Looks like we've got ourselves a halfling over here as well. I actually really like the thought of having a halfling. Got dexterity and charisma, swapping with con over there. All right, well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go with, I'm going to make a cleric for my first guy. It's going to be a hill dwarf cleric. Sounds pretty good to me. We'll dive straight on in there. We're going to select our class. I already know what I want to do. Our divine domain. Oof, I don't remember these very, very well. But I'm planning on, like, healing people, so we'll probably go with life cleric would be my guess. We'll probably go with life cleric. I don't know if we're going to, like, pick this around a little bit later or if it's picked for right now. Subclasses are granted at level 1. Yeah, we should be able to get that for, like, right now. We'll go next. Maybe it'll prompt us next. Let's see here. Clerics and paladins, we've got to choose a deity when created. So we've got a rune right now. Apparently a rune is a primordial god of the elements. We have Einar, which is a god of valor and a god of fidelity. We have Maraiki. Maraiki is apparently the god of life and death. Okay, so we'll go with life right there, unless Pakri lets me do it. All right, so there we go. I'm not really too interested in all the lore. I'll let you guys read through that as you desire to do so. Like, I'm really trying to keep us moving on this one, because I found with cRPGs and games that are very in-depth, you tend to spend like 30 minutes like just making a character and getting it rolling. And so, like, I want to show you the options that are available, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want to cede the entire video over to just, like, showing off character creation. Our background, let's make ourselves aristocratic. That sounds pretty good. I like aristocratic. It looks like we can choose personality flags. We can go with authority and maybe lawfulness. That sounds good to me. That sounds all right. We'll make, like, a quintessential good guy to keep things not as complicated. Oh, I see what they're getting at right now. Okay, so like we swap these around and we sort of get to choose what we want this thing to be. We can be, yeah, chaotic good I always feel like is a really good place to be. We'll go with cynicism because I am a pretty cynical guy. We'll go with kindness because I feel like I am kind of a nice guy. Oh, we choose 4. Okay, so we get 2 from our alignment, and we get 2 from over here. All right, that's what was throwing me off. We'll go with lawfulness, and then, of course, since we're going to be a member of the church, we probably want to have authority on our side as well. Perfect, we're all locked in. All right, so now we got to do our stats, our available scores. We can take the standard array. We've got a 17 right here. Actually, that's not, like, the worst I've ever seen. Like, I'll go with that in wisdom. Sounds pretty good. We're going to need that if we're going to be a cleric. We want to be able to fight, and we want to be able to wear pretty decent armor, so I'd probably go with strength right there. I'll go with constitution right there. I will more than likely take... Actually, let's be a little bit more interesting here. I'll go with that right there. We'll take that right there. Let's go with the 10s in Dex and the 10 in Int. That's a pretty good spread right there. I don't hate it. I think that's all right. I think we'll work out all right. All right, so we've got proficiencies and whatnot. We got to fiddle around with this stuff right here. So I'm going to take proficiency in medicine. I'm going to take proficiency in insight. Insight's going to allow us to figure out when people are lying to us and when people are being gnarly. Medicine's going to allow me to make checks with things like healing kits and stuff like that a little bit better. We have, like, magic going for us, so that's nice. But, you know. All right, so we get to pick 2 languages. We start with Dwarvish. We start with Common. I would say we should probably take, like... Elvish is probably going to be a common one that's around. Chances are, I don't know what Old Termarian is. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll go with that. Old Termarian. That sounds like it might be good for reading some kind of tapestry or something in an old ruin, which you never know when you're going to need that skill right there. Let's see. Now we get to pick our class cantrips. Cantrips are basically, if you've never played D&D before, you have spells, and every single day you have to sleep in order to restore those. Technically, they're filled in on your spell book or whatever. And so you can cast the spells that you've selected a certain amount of times per day in the allocation that you've given them. Cantrips don't follow those rules. Cantrips are things that you have prepared at all times that you can cast whenever you want. In general, they don't really take a whole lot of preparation or anything else. We've got an ally's ability checks right there from guidance. Light is pretty universally useful when you play D&D. Spare the Dying is a pretty good one. Sacred Flame would be nice for some damage, but it's going to quickly become not that useful as time goes along, whereas an extra +1 to resistance is kind of like always useful no matter how high level you are, as well as increasing somebody's ability checks. So I would probably stick with resistance or ability checks if you're trying to have them be useful forever. Customization-wise, we get to choose what our character looks like. I like the first face quite a lot, so I think I'm going to stick with it. We've got ourselves some hairstyles right there. I'll probably go with, like, that one right there. I dig that look. Couple different beards we can choose from, although not as many as I would like to have. I always go with black beards and black hair on my dwarves, so I think we're already in a pretty solid position. We'll go with old Blue Eyes right there.
Let there be light.
Are you still with us?
Not as taxing as I expected.
A palpable hit.
That sounds all right to me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pick our name light right now. Our name is going to be Gatly. We'll go with Sturm. Oh, do we do last name? We go with our clan, maybe. We'll call that Sturmbrow. That sounds good. That's a decent dwarf name. I just came up with it off the top of my head. Sounds all right. It works. It fits all the check marks. It's got to have, like, vague references to some kind of wrath or anger, and then, like, brow or rock or boulder or, you know, stone, something like that. We can go with additional backstory right there. That's kind of cool. All right, well, there we go. We have our first character, so we'll select him. He's going to be our main guy. We'll pick other people to help us out here. We have a half-elf sword-slinging fighter. That sounds pretty good. I'll take that. We definitely need a rogue, so we'll take a rogue for sure. And then, like, who else do we want to bring along? A wizard. Yeah, dude. Every party needs a wizard. We'll take a wizard. So we've got a pretty well-rounded four-man right here. This is more or less the standard distribution party that every single party since the dawn of 1.0 D&D will probably have. So let's start it off, and let's see what this game feels like.
Before the Cataclysm, there were no gods on Solasta. No humans either. Then, the rift opened. Some say it was a magical accident, or the work of an evil god. No one knows for sure. The Cataclysm destroyed the old High Elf Empire. Manicalan, they called it, and twisted the land beyond recognition. Now, only the brave and the foolish go there, in search of ancient treasures. But something is happening deep in those Badlands. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
Is it orcs? It's gonna be orcs, isn't it? 1024 AC is a time of political tension between the Principality of Masgarth and its neighbors. The Legacy Council stands as a neutral organization with representatives from all of the Eastern Kingdoms. It has issued a call for hired adventurers to bolster its efforts to explore the perilous Badlands. A valiant group gathers at the Gravekeep's Cask Inn, ready to take up the challenge. Dude, I appreciate the fact that they say click to proceed. Like, I love the fact that so many games just have this appear and, like, you don't have time to read it and then it goes away. Like, dude, I appreciate that so much.
This beer tastes like donkey piss. Not that I'm complaining.
Hope I'm not too late. Ran into a bit of trouble on the way here.
Sit, relax. Perhaps you'd enjoy a pint of this obnoxious ale. If you're here for the council job, get in line. Though if this Lord Karen doesn't show up soon, I may go looking for him.
Another round, barkeeper. 4 of your finest flagons of donkey piss, please.
I see you're all making the best of this.
Indeed. You mentioned something about some trouble. Would you care to elaborate?
I was proceeding down the highway, minding my own business, when 3 brigands burst from the bushes and waylaid me. They carried me off to some ramshackle prison, an imperial ruin of some sort. Fortunately, the walls were as weak as this indifferent ale we're drinking.
Ooh, are we adventuring? Let's go. Let's adventure. I'm ready, dude. I love a good cRPG. I just can't help myself. All right, so we've got basic movement. We click on a def. Yeah, dude, it's fine. It's movement in a video game. I'm sure I'll figure it out along the way. I'm trying to... Ooh, I like the way it feels. Like, I like how my little dude runs around. I'm getting, like, vague, like, Neverwinter Nights feelings about this. Ooh, the reflective effects. Can I get inside that right there? No, I cannot. Okay, so I can't initiate any type of, like, interaction with these cages that are on the side of me. Apparently, I've got, like, objectives or something. It wants me to go and do things. I gotta find a way out. It looks like something... Nope, nothing's over there. Never mind. I thought that was maybe the vague outline of a doorway. I thought I was going to walk past there with my ridiculously high perception and be like, you spy a hidden door. There's a pot over here. Anything good? Nothing inside. Oh, no, there is. There's a torch inside the basket right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in our primary slot. We'll put that in our... Oh, it doesn't matter. Apparently, my character's left-handed. All right, I thought maybe I could choose what hand I wanted to put it in. But I guess my character's left-handed. Good enough for me. Or maybe it just counts as an offhand item or something. We'll fiddle around with it in a minute. And it looks like the Alt key, if we hold that down, that's what's going to highlight if there's anything lootable. We've got a door on that side, but it doesn't look like we have any potential interaction with it, so we'll just let a door be a door and move on. Let's see here. There's a big hole in the wall right there. Okay, we'll try to interact with that for sure. See if we can bust that up. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Just push that massive slab out of the way with your massive dwarf power, dude. Okay. Not crazy positive that this is a great place to be. Although I do love the sense of verticality. Like, in general, games like this do not have any verticality to them. They stay isometric, and your character stays on the ground. And if you have to go from, like, the foreground to the background or, like, the lower ground to the high ground, it just kind of, like, blacks out the screen and comes back, and you're just, like, up there because they didn't have the budget to do, like, a climb animation or whatever. I very much like the fact that you can climb over these small vaults right here, and they've taken the time to put that. Oh, okay, a little bit of an acrobatics check right there, a little bit of an athletics check. All right, I like it. I like it. Can I jump over to here? I can, dude. Our dwarf has hops, dude. Our dwarf's a mover and a shaker out here. What do we got inside this chest right here? Anything good? A healing potion. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yeah, put that on my potion belt real quick. There's no path to that destination right there? Are you absolutely positive about that? Because it sort of seems like, oh, well, no, I'm levitating in the air. Okay, never mind. It looks like there's an alternate path to get around there, possibly, just in case you make a character that has, like, no acrobatics. Our character has no acrobatics, but it's kind of bolstered up a little bit by strength. Like, we've got a +3 in our strength stat, which means that, like, we can do, like, a little bit of acrobatics, should we require to do so. Oh, I thought he was going to climb it, maybe. I didn't think he was just going to edge the whole thing over like the absolute lift god that he is. So we can click to get through right there. And so I didn't even need to jump like that. Dwarves aren't known for their jumping abilities. Have at thee, knaves. All right, let's see here. Crushed a bunch of guys with a bunch of stone. Unfortunately, that's made the loot inaccessible. Is my gear going to be inside of here? It looks like we do have some loot. It looks like it fully equipped us out here. I like it. Dude, that's good-looking armor models right there. That's like some classic Tolkien-esque looking like armor models right there. I like it. It looks good. It's got an appealing way about it. I like it. Looks good. What do we have inside the chest? So we got some silver pieces. Oh, really? So they divided this game up into like copper, silver, gold, electrum, and all that kind of stuff? Oh, they did. There it is right there. They actually kept this thing like, oh, platinum pieces. I'm sorry. They didn't go with electrum. They went with platinum. All right, we've got rations right there, so apparently we need to feed ourselves. This is going like all in on D&D rules. When I play D&D, I usually get rid of the rationing rules. I get rid of the money rules. You just have gold pieces because like nobody wants to do math conversions. But for a video game, it works perfectly fine because it does that for you, so that's pretty cool. Nice. I really, really like the UI. I really sincerely do. It's a good-looking game. The menus are simple, but they've made all the icons have kind of like a gold outline that pops really hard around it. It looks good. We have a crossbow right there, dude. I'm about it. Like, we got our spells all nice and picked out here. We can cast any of these that we want twice, I think. Correct? These ones are grayed out. Maybe we do have to prep spells. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played D&D. It's been a good 3 years or so since I played D&D last time. Haven't had time to do it. I'm so busy between Twitch and YouTube that, like, I just don't have time anymore. However, I've opened up my streaming schedule a lot more, so I'm hoping maybe I join, like, a D&D group or something. Sounds like a good time.
Nice move, that trick with the wall. Glad you're no worse for wear.
Perhaps someone else can tell a story, huh? Since it looks like we might be here a while.
The council is likely busy with important matters of state, and we are not, so have patience. I have a tale to tell as well. I too was attacked, but I put an end to my enemies with blood and pain.
Let's hear it then. Don't be shy.
Fair enough. In we go to learn stories of blood and pain. Alright, so we've got a battle up against some wolves over here. We rolled our initiative and got an absolutely fantastic result, all things considering that we only had a +1. If you don't know the general flow of how D&D combat works, you roll initiative at the beginning. Your initiative decides where you're at in the overall action track. You have movement and you have actions, alright? It looks like we can do all of those things, too. So it looks like we've actually got a lot of the options down here. Like, more options than most games based on stuff like this give you. And they've done it in kind of like a pleasing way. All right. I'd like to move over to here, then. And then we're just going to attack right here. Make ourselves a little dice. Oh, we killed him dead. We rolled a crit. Oh, we got a perfect 20 on our first roll. It's a little bit of a shame that we didn't get any kind of like cool, oh, we can use a power or a special ability. I don't want to use that just yet. We'll pass. Oh, they're coming up behind us. Hopefully they don't have sneak attack. If they do, that's no good. We're going to get a flank on. It's going to give us advantage. Or give them advantage. It's not going to be a great situation. I think it wants me to shove one of them with a strength check off of here. There you go. Off the cliff he goes. And then we'll move over to address this guy. And next turn we'll go. I do like that you get to use all those little abilities that people don't tend to use in D&D. In D&D, most people tend to move and like attack, or like attack and attack, or they tend to like cast a spell. Like, they don't really think about the environment like shoving people against a spike wall or whatever, but I do like that the game is letting you know that these are like inherent objects that are, or these are inherent actions that are available to like every character. Like, you might have to make a strength check or whatever, but... Alright, so we finished off the wolves. I don't know if we're going left or if we're going right. My spidey sense is telling me that we're going right. Seems like there's a lot more things to interact. We got 150 XP from 3 wolves, huh? Nice, dude. Is that standard? 3 wolves killed, you get 150 piece? Is that standard for the, I want to know how closely they followed this. For the Dungeon Masters, or for the Monster Manual, is it 50 per wolf? That seems kind of high for a wolf, but I don't know, man. I grew up playing, like, old school, like, AD&D. All right, so I'm going to take a rough guess on what I'm supposed to do here. I bet I'm supposed to disengage, and then I'm supposed to do, like, something over here. Yeah, there you go. We pushed a big old rock onto the bridge and broke it. That's pretty cool and cinematic, though. I like all the interactivities that they've put into the game. I hope that keeps up as they continue to flesh out the campaigns. And, like, the really nice thing about this is...
What a bunch of namby-pambies. You're lucky you weren't attacked by Sorax.
Shut your gob or I'll shut it for you.
The Badlands are thick with them. Shape-shifting bastards.
Never mind him. He's just another drunk scavenger.
Aren't all drunks basically stupid?
Sorax might be legend, but orcs are quite real. And not just in the Badlands. I stumbled across a secret settlement right here in the Principality. Bullshit. I traveled here from the east and left the main highway, hoping to save time by traversing the hills. The views were magnificent, but I should have kept my eye on the path, because it gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into Stygian darkness.
Anyways, like, they've made a sandbox here. What they've done is they've created, like, an engine. You know, they've created, I hesitate to call it an engine because it's not that, but what they've created is kind of like a sandbox in which that they can make, like, DLC campaigns and stuff that you play through. Like, they can just make a campaign and, like, price it at, like, $2.99, you know, once the game is fully released. And you'd be like, yeah, dude, I want to play the game again. And then you have, like, your pre-made characters that have been through other adventures, and you can bring them on in. Like, it's cool. I like that. Like, this is actually fairly fertile ground in the same way that, like, Neverwinter Nights was fertile ground for the same reason. You could design your own campaigns. Like, that was back before the internet had experienced, like, widespread acceptance from everybody. So there's a quest objective around here. I gotta light my way. It wants me to cast light, right? I can cast light on an object. I have an orb right there. Nah, cast it on my staff. That's fine. Make my staff glow. I do like that interactivity too. Like, it literally made my staff glow. So that's pretty sweet. We can light some torches over here. I need a flaming item. Okay. Well, let's go into our inventory then, and we'll see if we have a torch around. Yeah, that'll work. Light that thing on up, and boop. And then we'll come over here, and booperinos. Done. And so we should be able to get through the door, yeah? That's not ready yet. I got to examine a totem. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we needed the light to look at the totem.
Upon my word, this is an orc hideout. The Malador is unmistakable.
All right. Let me guess. I'm at the fireball somebody. What do I have in here? Let me take a look. Use a potion or a spell to heal yourself. Well, I don't think wizards are going to have a whole lot of those things. I've got some of my spells over here at level 1. We've got Shield, which raises our AC by 5. That's really, really good. Your armor class is very, very simple in D&D. It's right here. It's a 13. They roll a D20. They get higher. They hit you. So we can increase that by 5, which gives us an AC at level 1 of 18, which is actually pretty good. It's not bad, although I think the highest AC you can have at level 1 is like 23, 22, in there somewhere, between 22 and 24. I don't remember exactly how you do it. I think you have to make like one of the tortoise guys and like a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, go ahead and drink the potion. Why not? Heal yourself up. 4 of 8 HP. Yeah. Okay, so apparently we got a really bad roll on that health potion. That's no good. We rolled a 1. Feels bad. What's in the chest? Oh, we got another one right here. Nice. Another torch. Got like some arrows. Is that what those are? Yeah, arrows. And then we got a ration right there too. Nice. Hopefully nobody minds that we just jacked their lunch.
There they are. Discretion is clearly the better part of valor in this instance.
Like, how did we even get into this situation by ourselves and alone? We've got to sneak past the orcs. All right, well, let's go, like, sneaky mode real fast. I think it's probably a good idea that we take off the torch. That's probably a good place to begin. I want the light spell to be kind of, like, off of my stuff, but... How do they not notice just like a roving light source up here? I'm gonna like drop something on their heads right now. If we had a fireball spell, we could avoid this entire thing. We could just throw a fireball down there and they would all die. I mean, unless they're high level, like less than squishy orcs, I suppose. That would be the caveat that I would raise. Alright, so we'll take this over here, climb up, and we're gonna go out this door. This is actually a pretty good primer to like D&D as a tabletop game too. You can literally do all these things. Like they did a good job. Like a lot of games, they sugarcoat the D&D aspects or hide them away from the player in the interest of just kind of like keeping the whole thing streamlined. But I like it's actually forward facing in this, that you have all the actions available to you that you really have in D&D. Like you're not limited by your imagination out here. Like I like that we're making athletics checks while we're making these jumps, and obviously we're not being punished for it. But like it's cool. It's a nice little intro to sort of like the idea that D&D is. Probably don't have to sneak anymore, right? Yeah, dude, we don't need to practice sneakery. Alright, so there's like a safe era. Sure, why not? They told me to do it. I don't know if it was just because I was right next to this and I was probably going to climb down the vines or something. So here's where we're going to rest, and we're going to get all our spells back by sleeping for the night.
No other means of egress is apparent. Fine. I shall wait until they go. These creatures do hunt, right?
Alright, so we can take a long rest over here. What a long rest is going to do, it's been a while, but it's going to restore our HP as I recall. It's going to give us all of our spell slots back. Alright, so there we go. We got all of our hit points and half of our hit dice. Good. Looks like I could prepare some spells around here. Detect magic is nice. I was going to say, we better have magic missile in here somewhere. Like, I'm a firm proponent of magic missile, okay? I like magic missile. Magic missile is one of those things, I don't go anywhere without it. It's a wizard's bread and butter. Did they leave? It looks like they did. It definitely looks like they left, so that's good. Wizards are not known for being incredibly good at fighting, you know, head-to-head with the enemy.
Not sure I would have slept so close to a horde of orcs. Orcs have a very distinctive stink.
I'm beginning to think Lord Karen might be a mythical creature.
We've all told a tale of our travels here. All but one of us.
Yes, but I have a good reason for that. It's none of your bloody business.
Come on now, don't be a killjoy. We all sang for our supper. Your turn.
Fine. You want to know the truth? I stopped on the way here to visit an old friend of mine and discovered he was up to his eyeballs in debt with a loan shark.
So he was in dire straits.
Indeed. He put up a family heirloom as collateral and wanted me to reacquire it because, you see, I can be quite stealthy when necessary.
Fair enough, but you might want to get a hood for that bright red hair. It might get you in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have the elongated head that halflings were supposed to have back in the 3.5 days, but I guess we've moved to a fairer, more beautiful future. Alright, what are we doing here? Cautious mode? Yeah, dude, let's go cautious mode. We've got magical, glowing, radioactive footsteps over here. It's uranium fever, it's flowing across the land. I just want to loot this right here. Yeah, I enjoy stealing when I play a thief. And look at that, there's a packet of thieves' tools. Fair enough. We're kind of moving blind into this, though, and it makes me sort of nervous. There's a guard right there. Dude, I should backstab him for like 80 million damage. Like the gangster that I am, dude. I'm not a thief. I'm an assassin. Assassino. Nice. So we rolled... Oh, it's a DC. It tells you what the dice check is. So a DC is called a dice check or a difficulty check. And we had to roll a 10. We rolled a 22 because we are an absolute god. We have a +7 bonus to our thievery, which is pretty good, actually, at level 1. It's not too bad. But then again, rogues tend to be like skill monkeys in the con. Rogues and bards, man. They got like proficiency for everything in D&D 5.0. I actually think that they have a few too many proficiencies in all honesty. Like, usually what ends up happening is if somebody plays a rogue, they handle, like, all of the dice checks while everybody else just sits there and is bored. So then you're constantly coming up with newfangled ways to sort of, like, separate the rogue from the rest of the group in the hopes that they'll actually have to use, like, some of their proficiencies and skills. Coming up with all these weird, sort of, like, manufactured ways to get the rogue out of the way. We're probably climbing up through there, right? That seems like the kind of place that I would go if I was looking for treasure. Oh, is that a down? Oh, we can go up right there. Okay, I thought I could just click at the top of it and he would just climb through. All right. There's a trap right there. So let's go ahead and we'll disarm the trap. That was us making a spot check. We saw that on the ground. Now we know there's a trap there. Now we're going to make a rogue check in order to see if we can get that thing all knocked out. Good to go. I'm saying rogue check or whatever, like thievery, whatever. I don't recall the name of all the skill checks. It's been a long, long time. Like, I definitely know how to play D&D, but, like, they changed the names of the skills and stuff here and there. It's been years since I played 5th edition, so, like, you know. I'm just being like, it's roguery. It's our ability to do thievery stuff. All right, so we've got a giant gemstone and some monies. That sounds good. I want to steal from that chest, too. We aren't halfway crooks out here. We steal very, very successfully. Alright, so we gotta escape from the fort, but there's dudes down there.
There you are, you filthy crook!
You? What? You're drunk. Get out of here before I kill you.
Think you scare me? Not anymore.
A grave mistake.
So am I just watching these guys brawl now? They're just gonna beat each other up. Dude, I'm waiting right here. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care about any of this. Oh, I've got to kill the loan shark. Never mind. All right, they're teaching me how to backstab. I was wrong. Yeah, let's dash and get in behind him. We don't really have a whole lot else going for us. Oof, Liam is getting smashed right now. My man is getting obliterated. But I have a rapier and a sneak attack bonus. So he should take a lot of damage right there.
Are you four here to see Lord Karen?
Well, we're not here to drink ourselves to death.
Well, thank you for making that clear. Well, if you're here for Lord Karen of the Legacy Council, that would be me.
Then we are here at your service, sir.
Very good.
Might we ask a bit more about this quest of yours, sir, if you please?
Well, I suppose it's better if you know what you're doing. What do you want to know?
Are we going to work for you?
Not exactly, no. I'll be your contact with the Legacy Council, which you will serve as deputies. That's why we need to go there and get you sworn in.
What can you tell us about this place, the Principality?
We don't exactly have the time, anyway. The Principality of Masgarth is ruled by Princess Kaiwood Silverflower. We are a wealthy state with fertile lands and the easiest access to the Badlands through a pass called the Copperhead Road. We're in the capital, Caer Kiflin, which was once part of the ancient Manicullan Empire of the High Elves. Hence the magnificent elvish buildings up there in the High Town. While we don't have a state religion, all of the major faiths on Solasta are represented here, though we tend to favor Einar, the god of valor and fidelity.
We should go, don't you think?
Very well. Come, gather your things. You're late for your swearing in.
Hurry up and wait. The story of my life.
All Alright, so here we are outside. We've been abandoned by our employer, but this is the first time they've given us access to our entire party, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, we've been going for about 40 minutes right now. These videos tend to get long-winded with RPGs. I'm excited about this. I like what I've seen so far. Like, they let us play around with some of the baseline mechanics. We didn't get to cast a whole lot of spells or anything, but we did get to play around with, like, rogue skills, mage skills, all that kind of stuff, so it gave us a pretty good idea in that first little bit. If you want to see more, let me know. I will see you all next time. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games. This is Solasta. I hope you guys enjoyed your stay. Leave a like on it if you did. Make sure you check out my stream over at Twitch TV/SplatterCatGaming. And then on top of that, check out the Discord, the central location for our entire community. I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.